Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of our storytelling channel. Yeah, and again today I'm gonna tell you about the last story, if this was a true one or if I made it up. So before you continue watching, go and watch the other one. And if you didn't do it till now, so then you can hear now if it's true or not. Yeah, and the story from last time, it was based on true events. This story called Candy Time, it really, something like that really happened in Texas. It was in the beginning of 1900. There was a woman, her name is Clara Crane, and well, she had a daughter with her husband, and this daughter died because officially her husband was not paying attention and was drunk, and she became totally mad because of that, and then she killed her husband with poisoned caramel candy. So after that she was of course taken by the police and were also guilty. So yeah, and she was placed into the North Texas Lunatic Asylum. Yeah, after that she was a charming and soft-spoken person, so she were released then from this asylum because it was overcrowded. But they were confident to release her because she were quite polite and nice, so they thought she might be healed. So yeah, and then around the beginning of the 90s, children near her home were started to get missed. And after a while, also some children were talking about candy on the Windows sim, and that they also get messages on paper, written on paper. At this point, this whole story came into the urban legend telling. So everybody was talking about if your child got missed, that it was the Candy Lady. So yeah, so much to say about Clara Crane and the Candy Lady. The story from last week was a true story. I don't know if you thought it were made up, but if you thought, you were wrong. It's true, based on true events. Of course, nobody were able to tell if she really was it, but as I said at the beginning, when I find something which has a part of truth inside, I will take it as true. So yeah, this is of course discussable and could be only an urban legend, but I think there is a lot of truth inside. Alright, enough about that. Let's go on to the next story. The next story I will tell you is called Friendly Clown. Have fun. Today is annual fair, Johnny was telling his friend, indicating that they need to go there today. Sure thing, right after school we'll go, answered his friend immediately. It was obvious that both were excited to go to this fair. As soon as the last bell rang to release the students from school, the two friends ran as fast as they could to the fair. Of course they went only to the cool attractions suitable for 15-year-old teenagers, like all the dangerous roller coasters and scary haunted houses. Surely, in between, buying some cotton candy and roasted almonds was also unavoidable, cause there are still some things everybody likes, not only kiddos. But kiddo stuff like merry-go-rounds were only waste of time and money for them. But still, there was one thing that caught John's eye, which definitely was kiddo stuff. They heard it already from the far.
Hey there, kids, it's me, Demo!
John went straight to the clown's booth as his friend asked him, "Why you go to this idiot?" John's answer was, "Just want to see how dumb he is." But this wasn't really true. Something drew him there, like a voice was calling. He saw that clown giving his show, and he was actually amazed. At the end, how talented and friendly he was. This clown must love his job. Still, John wanted to keep his coolness, and he pretended that he totally didn't like it, so he turned around to find his friend as Dumo appeared before him.
Hey kid, you want Demo's autograph?
Although John really wanted, it was more important for him to keep the coolness, so he just said whatever and moved on. Dumo was just laughing friendly. In the evening, both friends tried all the hot stuff on the fair, but they just needed something to round up the day. Some whiskey would be perfect now. John was pretending as if he already tasted it. His friend just agreed with a smile. But nobody's gonna sell us some, he said. Maybe we find an irresponsible grown-up to buy us some. They were looking around for a fitting candidate who could do the job. Surprisingly, after a while, there was a guy coming to them. You two look like you're trying to do something stupid. Both boys just tried to ignore him. Okay guys, I know that you want to get drunk today and that I cannot do anything against it. So you know what? Let's go to my place. Like that I can at least stand by you if you get drunk. For 1 second they were hesitating, but then they decided, this is our chance to get the alcohol, and if he tries something, we can handle him together. He was also familiar to John. He saw him already somewhere. Also, he made a trustful impression. Both boys were drinking alcohol the first time, but of course they tried to pretend as if it's nothing. They started to make fun while they got more and more drunk. The stranger came over with handcuffs. Hey guys, wanna see a conjuring trick? I can free myself from those handcuffs. Both boys already drunk. Really? Show us! He put them on, and after a while he was free. The trick is very simple. Do you want to try? Without any thought, each one put on a handcuff. First they were laughing while they tried to free themselves. Later they became more and more desperate. The stranger started to smile diabolically. The trick is to have the key. Both became nervous and jumped up to run to the door, but they were too drunk. And standing up and running made it worse. They fell unconscious. John woke up with a very bad headache. He was not able to move. His arms and legs were fixed. He was bound to an upside-standing table. He also realized that he was naked and alone in the dark room. His first thought was that this might be a joke, but the longer he were there, the more nervous he became. He remembered where he was before and that they were drunk, but he was not sure if everything was just fun there. He began to shake as he heard something moving in the room.
Don't be afraid, it's not the clown.
Suddenly he realized the stranger they met was the clown. That's why he was familiar. The light went on, and the clown appeared before John. But he was different from that at the fair. His makeup was smeared, and there was a lot of red makeup also on his clothes. But the most difference was the expression in his face. Compared to that friendly face from the fair, it was now a scary-looking face with an evil grin and wide open eyes. As John's body was found, indications were found that he has been raped and abused, but he has been killed by choking. A noose with 2 knots was still around his neck, and those 2 knots a stick was threaded. Twisting that stick is slowly taking the breath of the victim till it's choking to death. Alright, that was it for today. So I hope you liked this story, and once again, find out if this is made up or if this is a true story or based on true events. So yeah, and one thing I wanted to tell you for the last story, I will also put a link in the description so you can check that out if you want to know more about Clara Crane. Alright, so thank you again, and see you then in the next video. If you liked it, then give me a like, and also don't forget to subscribe. So see you then, bye bye.